If Chingu had come back to the mother after the police invaded where she was held captive, even though she was ashamed of coming back home with nothing, knowing fully well that the mother was suffering and had no food to eat, Mama would have had somebody by her side, and Ejike's bad treatment wouldn't have sent her to an early grave. I feel sorry for Mama. This is really very much emotional. Even at this point, Chingu is fighting Ejike instead of them sitting down to actually planning on how Mama can have a peaceful burial. This is so sad. Remember on the last episode, it was an inconclusive meeting because Ejike went there claiming that he is courage the billions and has no respect for the elders. They were chased out. On this episode, you can see that after they resolved on going to the uncle to beg him so that the uncle can in turn talk to the elders for on his behalf, Ejike went and they met Chingu sitting in front of the house. She was actually sleeping. Maybe she was thinking, nobody knows. But when she suddenly opened her eyes and saw Ejike, it was like she remembered everything within a second that Ejike did to her. How Ejike drove her out of his house. How she fell into the hands of people that were violating her body and all that. So out of anger, she went inside and chased Ejike and his friends out of the compound with a machete. This could mean one thing. Chingu is not ready to settle with Ejike. I wonder what is going to make them have peace. With all this that is happening, how is Mama going to be buried? That is the problem. And now that Chingu has chased them out of the compound, they still came back again to have a second meeting with the uncle. Probably the uncle must have spoken to Chingu, has told Chingu to calm down. At this point, Ejike came with his wife, Munachi, and his friends. Chingu was telling the uncle to chase Ejike out of this compound, that Ejike has to leave this compound, that he has no business here. Nobody wants him here. He does not owe anybody in this compound, so he has no reason to be here. And Ejike was now asking Chingu, what right do you have to chase me out of this compound? What did you do when Mama was alive? What did you do? You are blaming me for everything. That I did not do anything. I did not support Mama. I did not give her money. Well, you know the reason why all this happened? They send you to school and they send me to go and learn a trade. What did you achieve? Ejike is really something else. How would you be so mean to your sister? Chingu was still telling Ejike to leave the compound. If not, he's going to do something that he does not like. And then Daniel, who is always prognosing, started that why would Chingu want Ejike to get out of the compound? That this life is a personal race. She ran her own race and Ejike is running his own. He does not have right to chase this other person or tell this other person what to do. And immediately, Dan's friend that is always giving Ejike good advice intervened and asked Daniel, why are you always interfering in these people's family affair? You are always coming here to spoil something for us. Immediately, Chingu now told Daniel that I don't know who you are, but I don't want you in this case. If not, you will see what I will not like. And the same thing goes with Munachi. Munachi was telling Dan the same thing, and Dan was now telling Ejike, your wife is insulting me and I don't like it. And you can imagine Ejike, instead of him to stand for the wife, he prefers Dan over the wife. And Dan now said something that almost traumatized me. Dan had a mind to tell these people that if the mother was dead, in fact, if the mother will appear to him right now, he's going to stab the mother to death. Can you imagine? And he still went ahead to tell Ejike that, in fact, if Ejike mother appears to him, he's going to stab her to death again. Immediately, the uncle wife, the auntie, was now telling Ejike that Ejike, at this point, I have seen the reason why some women can abort their children. That, in fact, you should have been aborted. That if your mother had aborted you, all this problem would have been solved. But people will blame her for aborting her child. That why did you abort your child? You should have given birth to your child. But now that she gave you the privilege to be alive, look at the way you are treating her. Ejike was now angry and told the auntie that she should never say that to him again. And that was when the uncle now stood up and told Ejike to shut up if he doesn't have what to say. In fact, he should get out of his compound. And Ejike was still very furious. The uncle was now telling him that instead of are you here for you to resolve issue or you are here to make more problems? That Ejike should do what he wants to do and let them see who will be blamed at the end of the day. All this that is happening is because of Dan's influence. Ejike would have been a better person by now because he has had a lot from these people blaming him for the same thing. But Ejike could not learn from what all these people are telling him. Chingu became very angry and decided to pick up a bottle and was chasing them. She chased them and Munachi fell on the way. She almost broke her arms. And you can even imagine what Ejike did. Ejike ran away and left Munachi. Does it mean that Ejike does not care about Munachi? How would you run away and leave your wife behind? You want her to be killed by your sister? Is that what you mean? They carried Munachi up and Munachi was now begging the uncle, I know my husband can be a handful, but please, I want you to talk to the elders on his behalf so that we can have Mama buried. Mama did not have a peaceful time while she was alive. At least now that she's dead, she should have peace. And then Dan's friend also pleaded with the uncle to please talk to the elders on their behalf so that they can bury Mama. But the uncle now told them that if Ejike would only appear as somebody who is here to be corrected, then they will now know what to do. That Ejike that they are talking about is not even appearing as somebody who wants to be corrected. That he is still showing himself. And then now, Dan's friend was now asking the uncle, so are we saying that Mama will not be buried because Ejike is arrogant? Will Mama Cobb now remain unburied? And the uncle now went ahead to tell them that I understand that at least Ejike had good people around him, which is Munachi and the other friend, just the two of you. But at this point, the thing is, even if you try to correct a child with your right hand, the left hand is there for you to bring the child closer. But if that child is not ready to be corrected, there is nothing that you can do. And the uncle became angry and left. And the auntie now went to meet Chingu. Chingu, I understand that you are hurt. I understand that what Ejike did to you is so painful. But at this point, you need to have peace in your heart and accept Ejike. Chingu was now asking the auntie, do you mean that I should just abandon everything and everything that Ejike did to me and just accepting like that? And the auntie said, yes. In fact, as a matter of fact, the both of you committed the same crime. Ejike did not care for your mother. You, in particular, did you come back to your mom that the both of you committed the same crime? And Chingu was now asking the auntie, do you mean that? What do you even mean? The auntie was now telling Chingu, I know that something bad happened to you. But if you had come back to your mom, at least your mother will have something by her side. Someone by her side. But then, you did not come back. Ejike did not even show your mother love. The woman just lived and died wretched as if she had no child. And Chingu at this point was trying to reason what the auntie is saying. At the same time, she was trying to also defend herself about what happened to her, that she passed through hell. A lot of things happened to her. She was violated, and even up till now, she doesn't even know who the father of her child is. The auntie still went ahead to tell her, instead of pointing to Ejike as the reason why your mother suffered, you should also take the blame because the two of you did the same thing. Nobody came back for your mom. I want you to think about this. You should take time to think about it and accept Ejike so that your mother can be buried. Chingu is beginning to understand what the auntie is saying because actually she didn't come back for the mother. In fact, the two of them are only coming back to the mother now that the mother is dead, which is not even valid. So you cannot be pointing accusing fingers on Ejike when you committed the same crime. So at this point, Chingu had no other option but to accept Ejike so that the mother can be buried. Let's watch out for what will happen on the next episode because at this point, we don't even know what is going to happen. Chingu will have no option, and at the same time, Ejike will have to put down his ego so that the mother can be buried. Once it drops, I will bring it back to you guys. At this point, I just want you to please subscribe to the channel and like the video if today is your first time on the channel. With that being said, see you on the next one. Peace.